a graduate of Trinity College Dublin, and to those who suggest that it's somehow sad to come straight from my full-time job to spend my evening boasting about my sexual prowess to a room full of people several years my junior, or that it somehow highlights a deep-seated insecurity, or that it's a sign of emotional immaturity to crave social approval from a room of teenagers, I say, yeah, fuck off. Like, it's not fucking like sad. Like, it's fine. And you know, like, it's grass. And if anyone is 17 in the room or anything, and you need me to get you nagging or whatever, like, I'm cool with that. So. And if like a bouncer's giving you trouble later at Club Filth, I basically know all the bouncers in Dublin, so like I'll be able to sort you out. It's grand at me. So to give you a bit of background, I started in Trinity back in, I did Russian and accounting in 1998, and I've been back for every Freshers Week since. I have a pair of twins on the way now, but I wouldn't miss Freshers Week for the world. Going to Dicey's, getting the ride, you know, if that's sad, then, you know, like, miss that memo. Yeah, it's grand. Because there's a bit of a double standard in the world between getting the ride and getting a first. Somehow it's cool, you know, to get a first and have a successful career, but it's not cool to get the ride in Freshers Week every year. It's one of those double standards. Like, everyone, after you graduate, everyone's allowed to put up a status being like really proud to have graduated from Trinity with a first. But if you put up a post-sex photo of your semi-flaccid penis, suddenly that falls foul of the so-called politically correct brigade. And you know, it's like, whoa, dude, sorry I'm not living in like a grey box eating grey gruel every day, man. And just because you don't get a first doesn't mean you can't have a successful and fulfilling career. I'm making a very good living now in the tech sector. I got into quite a lucrative niche online a few years ago, quite early. I'm in the viral Facebook content business. It's a tough racket, but I do it for my family. You might know me. My Facebook name is Maconen Sam. I do quite a lot. I upload photos mainly. I mean, you might recognize some of them. Like, I mainly post images like if he name begin with @p he a ho. And like, it's a living, like, you know. On a good day, you can pull in a couple of £100 off a standard tag @M and they owe you a McDonald. or @F is a lil bitch with some cry laughing emojis. They go down really well. I'm trying to diversify now into posting images of palm trees with things like bring on summer 2017, but that's a really crowded market. I don't recommend getting into that one. It's pretty tough. But you know, a few years ago, I was like you. I was a fresher sitting here, and I looked at those Facebook accounts, and I thought, that could never be me. And then I had my first big hit one day, Perseverance. Tag a mate who always is shitting. 43,000 comments later, never look back. Because, you know, people who get a first, they go to college, and they think you can learn everything in a book. But there's some things you can't learn in a book. If you're talking about sexual pleasure or giving sexual pleasure, you can't learn that in a book unless you call riding a book, and I don't call that a book. You know, it's not a book anyway. You know, like, so you could say that. Like, it's not all about the high grades. There was an inspiring video from George W. Bush recently. He got one of those college commencements in the US, and he got a C. And he said, to all those graduating with A's and lots of academic prizes, I say well done. And to all those graduating with C's, I say, you too can be presidents of the United States of America. So it goes to show, with a few magic ingredients, hard work, perseverance, a father who was a former US president, and a brother who is governor of a key swing state, anything is possible. And Prince Charles famously got a 2-2, and now he's next in line for the throne. A little thing called merit will get you there. But you gotta admit, college isn't all American pie, even if you are going for the ride and non-stop orgies. You think college will be all threesomes and rat mines and pork and black bean sauce combo meals, and it ends up being an over-the-pants fandle job in Phibsborough and a spice bag. And not one of the good spice bags from Charlie's. One of the basically all chip ones from Starry Night on Pier Street. Yeah, if you're looking for a decent combo meal in Starry Night on Pier Street, hello and fuck off. Can of lilt, please. $1.50. And I admit the sexual rewards of rigorous academia can at times be considerable. Take, for instance, the foundation scholarship in Trinity, getting skulls. If your particular fetish is vaguely unpleasant, sexless Protestants, that's the way to go. So, just go for it. Forget about academia, forget about getting a first, just get the ride. Become a big name on campus. Get on the Trinity 20, a list which is often very unfairly described as vacuous masturbation of bloated egos. You know, come back to me when you're 12th on the Trinity 20. Go to events. Go to the Phil's speed dating or the Hists event, the tragically self-aware speed friending. It basically cuts all the filler out of a date to get to the inevitable endpoint, a kind of semi-convincing assurance from a visibly uncomfortable person you just met that they'd really just rather be friends with you. On a side note, it's actually a very efficient way for unpleasant people at the very start of college to make friends. Just ask someone on a date, go in for a kiss way too early, they'll recoil and reflexively say, oh, I really think we should just be friends. They can't go back on that. You've made a free friend. It's technically the law. So make the most out of college, because soon you graduate at 23 and, women get the menopause or something, and all men start calling each other chief for some reason. They say, Mr. Guidera, fancy a couple of scoops, chief? Or, well, chief, up to much since college? I'm not a chief. I'm a short-term intern at an unsuccessful law firm. But seriously enjoy it, because right now, it's Thursday at Freshers Week. It seems like the world will never end, everything's lighthearted and fun. But before you know it, right before your eyes, whoosh, it's Friday at Freshers Week. And that's good too, but things wind down a bit. There's still the souls up, but it's just it's not as good and the night out isn't as big. So thanks very much.
To do this debate at Trinity, I called my mum and told her I was going to Trinity. The second thing I did was Google what a first was. I genuinely am not lying. I knew it was something to do with college. And then I looked it up and I thought, yeah, I would rather that than the ride. And I'll tell you why. Riding, it's overrated. It is. I'll tell you now, there's been many a song about riding, right? But I thought I'd read you out the lyrics from a certain song about riding. This is by the Yin Yang Twins. And this song is called Whisper in Your Ear. So I'll just read it out here. Hey, how you doing, little mama? Let me whisper in your ear. Tell you something that you might like to hear. Got a sexy ass body and your ass looks soft. Mind if I touch it and see if it's soft? Nah, I'm just playing lest you say I can. And I'm known to be a real nasty man. And they say a closed mouth don't give in. I don't mind asking for head. Good for you. Yeah. Good for you. You heard what I said. We need to make our way to the bed and you can start using your head. You like to bang. Oh, now this gets significantly worse. I'll plow on. Okay, shit, okay, Beckett. Oh no, I don't know. Okay. Okay, 3, 2, 1. No. Okay. Okay. Okay, okay. Have your legs open, all in a book. Do it up. Slap an ass because the sexy girl get rough. Switch the position. I know. Switch the position, hurry and get down to business so you can see what you've been missing. Get my ass on. Bet you ain't ever had nothing like this. Just wait till you see my dick. Hey bitch, wait till you see my dick. Wait till you see my dick, hey bitch. Wait till you see my dick. I'm gonna beat that pussy up. And repeat. And that's no. And they are bankrupt. Now, if they did a song about a college education, I think they'd be in a very different position. Y'all, wait till you see my degree. Would be a better song. Now, the other thing is as well, like writing and all that, that's no good for your CV. It is. No. It's no good for your CV. I mean, you know, jizz on a CV has never impressed anybody. You know? I know. But still, it's better than an arts degree. Sex behind Supermax has never got anyone a job in KPMG. Or has it? And by the way, if any of you are doing arts degrees, fair fucking play to you. I went to Ballyfermot College of Further Education, which is famous for being behind the Tesco's where Mary Byrne from X Factor used to work at. So, you know, fair play. Here's one. Sex doesn't make the chasm between you and your dad any smaller. But at first might. You can't. You're at a debate about riding, lads. It's like, you can't stick that used condom on the mantelpiece for your mum to show off to her neighbours. Oh, look, Alison did a great job. She was sober when she did this. Fair play to her. He's gone now. Yeah. And you may, like, to be honest with you, when I was put in that position, I'm delighted because I'm a typical Irish girl. I despise sex with all my heart. Like one of my favorite things is like I was thinking the other day because I do stand-up comedy and sometimes the spotlight gets too hot, you guys, but it does, and like I have to take off my bolero. No worry about this today, but don't worry, you guys. Shield your eyes. But the thing is, like, I hate taking off my bolero. I really do. I hate showing off my arms. I don't even do it while I'm riding. And that's like that's swear to God. Am I right, ladies? Sex negative, what? I'm fine. And I thought of the perfect Irish porn name for women. Like a film, and I want to produce it myself, and it's going to be called Not Without My Cardigan, which would be good. And the thing is, I'll tell you my whole sexual history. Don't worry, it won't take long. It won't take long. The nearest I got to any sexual activity in secondary school was listening to my friend describe what a blowjob was, right? While I slowly got sick into my own scarf. And I do that as a joke in shows I do. My friend was bringing his 13-year-old daughter to the show, and because I normally finish off the joke and go, Yvonne, oh shit, I shouldn't have said that name. Wait there. Yeah. Venice. Why would a woman be called Venice? Especially in Westmeath, like. Fuck it, Yvonne. Yvonne, you're crazy, Yvonne. He goes to the toilet from there, Yvonne. What you doing putting your mouth near there? And my friend said, like, can I bring her? And I said, it's fine. I definitely say the word blowjob. And he said, how about you just don't say the word blowjob? You just allude to it, you know? Like they do in Shrek. You should watch it. It's all about blowjobs. All about blowjobs. So what I did, right, was I said I got sick into my own scarf, listening to my friend describe what a certain act was. I said, Yvonne, you're crazy, Yvonne. He goes to the toilet from there, Yvonne. What you doing putting your mouth near there? And I looked at the child and I thought, this sounds like a far worse act than what I'm actually implying. And if you don't get what I'm talking about, lads, go to college a few years longer. Rimming. Right, guys, to be honest with you now, I've run out of tricks. I'm a bit tired, so I'll let you finish yourselves off. Have a great night.
We'd like to thank the speaker for her comments, and we'll now move on to the next speaker on the proposition for Lady.
Ladies and gentlemen, the only first I want this year is some first-class dick! Okay, so just as a disclaimer at the start of this debate, I need to concede that there are certain similarities between the two sides. Like, there's similarities between studying and having sex, and that my favourite place to do both is the Bram Stoker room upstairs. Alone. So I have to convince you why the momentary thrill of being validated by an arbitrary system of academic evaluation pales in comparison, much like the hist pales in comparison to the average pile of human feces, to getting some dick or pussy or non-binary genitalia. So while I'm on the non-binary thing, freshers, public service announcement, welcome to the GMB. Few things. Gender isn't real. All men are pigs. The patriarchy is real, but reverse racism isn't. The jury's still out on the female orgasm. Everyone here is body positive, sex positive, HIV positive. Earlier this month, someone took a shit on Student Union President Kieran McNulty's desk. Everyone's gay now. Phil President Matthew Nuding was in 5 separate choirs in secondary school. You're not allowed to call anyone a faggot anymore, but luckily the word cunt has lost all severity. Choke me daddy. Sorry. Nobody gives a fuck if you were on your school senior cup team. Literally no one. And also you're a dick. So yeah, what we're going to hear from the op, okay, is that like getting the ride will come, spelled C-U-M, way. Once you're all smart and intelligent and successful and all the rest of it, which is a pile of wank, because it's like saying that you prefer the tedious means of achieving something to the actual goal itself. It's like saying you prefer studying to getting good results. It's like saying you prefer smoking rollies outside the arts block every day to being considered an absolute fucking legend. It's saying you prefer the awkward taxi ride home from the club with your chosen suitor to the orgasm you have at the end of the night. And by orgasm, I of course mean several seconds of vaguely exasperated sighs you perform, followed by a thumbs up and a yeah, thanks, that was great, babe, just so it can all finally be over. Men are really inadequate and honestly becoming obsolete. So one of my main points is like the power you have during sex is nothing like the power you have in your academic life, okay? Like in college, like in academia, you get told what to do by old, stuffy, pervy white men, and that only happens during sex if you're Mark Finn. Now I have a limerick and a series of poems and short jokes. She once She once met a handsome young sailor and decided that she'd let him nail her. Said, choke me daddy while fucking. It ended up sucking because she forgot her inhaler. How to have sex with someone you met in Everly. Don't. This next joke is entitled The Reproductive Rights Afforded to Irish Women in 2016. That's the joke. Now I have a series of pickup lines prepared. I've lost my teddy bear. Will you choke me later in a sexual context? Are you a parking ticket? Because you look like you're going to cost me €30 tomorrow. Emergency contraception, the hero we need, but we definitely don't deserve. This is a list of things you could be doing to get the ride instead of pretending to be intelligent. Brush your fucking hair for once. Deliver mediocre speeches at comedy debates. Share left-wing Guardian articles on Facebook. Buy Instagram likes. Smoke rollies outside the arts block. Go to Everly. Join the Phil. Join the Hispanic Society if you're into Latin Americans. Let me see. Audition to play the triangle in Trinity Orchestra. As a side note, you can't spell Manus Tennyson without anus. More stuff. Leak your own nudes. Take a shit on SU President Kieran McNulty's desk. Become number 10 on Trinity's top 20 list. Fair play, Matthew. There's always next year. Oh, okay, I have a joke that was meant to be included in the the PSA earlier. I'll just say it now. Another PSA, Harambe jokes aren't funny anymore and are the only time I will tell you not to get your dick out. Yeah. Okay, so I'm also just so over academia after one jading year of college, okay? So the thing about academics is that someone's always going to be better than you, okay? But sex, it's all about you and what you enjoy, okay? I've given up on the whole concept of getting a first or attempting to be the smartest person in any given room. This kind of came to me at the Cork IV, which is a debating competition. So I went in thinking I was intelligent and would be reasonably good at debating. And then I saw the tab, which is the list of speakers in order of how good they are. And I just had to accept that it wasn't true. I just had to take myself aside and say, sure, look, Orla, it's not the first time you've been underneath Mark Finn. So I'd like to thank all my teammates, Hugh Rydera, Elizabeth McRide, Saoirse Ryder, easy, and that woman. Okay, what I have written here is Harry Higgins has conversations in much the same way he has sex, in that he goes deep much too quickly. So, to conclude, I think sex is better than academia, because an essay will never love you, an essay will never choke you, an essay will never take you on a week away to Warsaw and lavish you softly. An essay will never beat the shit out of you during sex because they assumed you were into it. I heard that from someone once. It will never say, Orla, can you please quieten down? I do have neighbours, you know, and is generally shit. So my speech doesn't have a good ending, much like most of the sex I have.
We'd like to thank the speaker for her comments, and now we move on to the next speaker in the opposition, John and Bobby Barnes.
One sec, just finding my timer. Oh shit. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen of the University Philosophical Society, ladies and gentlemen, commend, because that's what you're supposed to do here. So I'm here on the opposition because I'm a fourth year, I'm pretty washed up, and I have a lot of anxiety about how my transcript is currently looking. I'm really regretting all the riding around I've done in college, and so here I am to try warn you guys, as you start first year, to just seriously, don't do it. It's not worth it. I'm going to talk about the effort of getting the ride versus the effort of getting it first, because to be honest, I think the effort of getting the ride is way harder. As much as you all think I'm always this sexy, I actually got to work for it sometimes. Then I'm going to talk to you about the returns the ride gives you versus the returns a first will give you. But first I got a bit of rebuttal. So Orla said sex is about you and about what you enjoy. I don't know what wonderful people Orla is shagging, but she's selling you an absolute lie. It is not true. Especially for all the ladies in this house. College boys are dicks. They have them and they don't know how to use them. Anyway, so on to the effort of getting the ride versus the effort of getting it first. So basically, there's effort number one, which is looking good. So, you could, go to the gym, eat healthy, have a fit body. Or you could do what I do and just cover your body in sequins to distract people. Then you also have to, put on makeup if you're a girl, which is a weird double standard we have in society, which is dumb because, in all the animal kingdom, it's the male species that have to, compete to look good in front of the females. But no, we gotta, shove all this Mac dry crap on our face, then come home and be crusty and be like, how did I pull at 3 a.m., when I look like this? Then you also kind of act cool, and at minimum you have to shower, which I am not a fan of. Secondly, there's seduction. This is effort number two, and there's two forms of seduction. There's the long game, which I usually play, but really it's just because I never really achieve anything, so I always just say, oh yeah, I'm just playing the long game. It'll work eventually. But the long game is weaseling your way into the person you fancy's friend group, finding out exactly what they like, and then knowing everything about it just by Googling it. And then trying really hard to act like you don't know lots of information about them that you've collected from all your friends and all their friends, that you've stalked them on Facebook, and then eventually you work hard enough that you're somehow alone with them on a night out, you're both really drunk and you just confess that you have a big crush on them, you kind of corner them, and this is totally not okay to do if you're a guy, by the way, but for some reason girls get this weird benefit where people are oh, good for her, but if guys do it, it's oh, creepy. It's creepy if any of us do it. I'm a massive creep, I just get away with it because I'm a woman. And then you confess your love and then manage to shift them and then never look them in the eye ever again until one day they sit opposite you in the usher not realizing it was you, and then you're both very awkwardly there for 2 hours not knowing, is it obvious if you leave too quickly. So that's the long game. Or there's the instant game, which is, these are all the hardcore vicious flirting techniques that you learn from magazines, So it's touch your arm to let them know that you own them. I work in Lush, actually. We do this as well, where in Lush people are oh, can we just try put this on your hand, put this on your arm, try this. That's so we have you in our literal hands, so you can't get away without buying something. Then you also, magazines tell you to smile a lot, and the reasoning they give for this is that showing your teeth is a psychological thing where there's some science that men will be naturally attracted to you because they see your teeth, and you're your pearly whites, mine are yellow, but also I think it's more to show that you can literally bite them if they turn you down. Another tip magazines give is make them smell you because you're pheromones. And I tried this one time when I was really drunk. I was kissing this boy I fancied so much. Mid-shift, stopped and go, smell my hair. I'm using this really nice jasmine shampoo because it's a natural aphrodisiac. Hoping he'd then ride me. He didn't ride me. He quickly put me in a taxi home. Then, there's also make an animal sacrifice, bat your eyelashes, flick your hair so you're flicking it in the eyes of enemy people who are coming over to try to disrupt the conversation. You're haha, no! I'm having a DMC that they clearly don't want to get out of. So yeah, that's kind of the amount of effort you have to put in to getting the ride. Meanwhile, where's my speech? Here we go. Meanwhile, if you want to get it first, a different type of effort is required. So I'm sure you all just did your leaving cert, you all got a couple of A's, and you're all feeling yeah, college, I'm excited to study this stuff. It's going to be a bit harder than that. The leaving cert is all learn this stuff off by heart, spit it out in an exam, and you get an A. College is learn off this all by heart, apply it to this weird situation, you still won't get an A because we've put something else in the exam. But if you want to get it first, literally the most effort you have to do is well, first of all, you don't have to shower because you can just go to the library wearing the same clothes every day. You don't have to socialize with anyone, which is the dream because people in college are dicks. And then you also like maybe get to use some of those like slick flirting techniques, but you use them on your TAs and your lecturers. You know, much more important. So yeah, I think like the effort of getting a first, not so much compared to getting the ride. And I'm really lazy, so I don't want to do that. Now, what page am I on? On to what gives better returns. So, your first. It gets you a job, it gets you on real likes on Facebook, it makes some of those shitheads on like in your class that were kind of dicky to you in first year that kind of like don't socialize with for the rest of the day. Like literally a boy 4 years ago, this guy in my class was a bit rude to me. I actually changed courses because I was like, everyone in little business is dicks. I'm going to little politics because they're cool. But then most importantly, it's timeless. Your first hairline is never going to recede. Your first is never going to get awkwardly fat. Your first is never going to like wait until you're about to move country, to collect a jacket that they left in your house 6 months before because otherwise they'll never see you again. And most importantly, your first will not give you an STI or make you run to the pharmacy begging for like plan B, even though you're on the pill, you used a condom, and you're just terrified that like some stuff came down the sides. And then like finally, riding's overrated, and like this is just where I give you shit sex stories. So we have this thing, like you might all think college sex is gonna be real edgy and cool, because we have this thing called the GMB challenge, where you try have sex in every single room in this glorious building. But there's a downside to that, like, you know, having sex in the president's chair, which I've done, is very difficult and not that enjoyable. And then... and then, secondly, it means you have to have sex with someone on HIST committee. And like, they're always hiring, you know, they love having orgies, everyone's welcome, so you don't have to put in the effort. But you have to have sex with someone from the HIST, and that's just not somewhere anyone wants to go. Finally, like, I don't know, college sex can just be very disappointing. Like, honestly, getting a first, easy as. I really hope I get one as a result of giving the speech magically. And if you see me tonight trying to pull really hard and then, like, I'm going home with someone, you'll see me be like, she's a fucking hypocrite. She brought someone home. No, I'm just proving to them how bad college sex is. Thank you.
Thank the speaker for her comments, and now we'll move on to the next speakers on the proposition, Elizabeth McBride and Saoirse Riley.
Shake that ass, bitch, and let everyone see what you've got. So shake that ass.
Jesus. Okay. Thank you. We had a page of rebuttal, but it just says poo guider on it, so. Are you putting on? Oh yeah, the video.
Yeah. Oh no, it's fine.
Yeah, fair.
Oh wait, no, we have to do that.
Yeah, get it.
Oh, okay, 1 second. Sorry. Just have a prop. Here we go.
Okay, so let's take it from here. Let's go like other way. Yeah.
No, it's fine. No, it's fine.
Okay. So you'll probably notice we're in the same hoodie. And that's mainly because, you know, it's a bit of a quip back to the quips we get every day that we're sort of seen as a double act here in the film, not respected in our own bodies. Bit of a shit Laurel and Hardy, a gruesome twosome, if you will, here in the film, which baffles both of us because we never speak outside of preparing debates. We actually find each other very unpleasant.
Yeah.
But listen, they were fucking desperate for speakers, so here we are. You know, when we first were asked to do this debate, you know, our reaction was we'd rather shit in our hands and clap.
That's it.
That's us.
That's it. But then we thought maybe we could spew shit on everyone else here, and the audience would clap instead. That's not.
You know, many of you probably won't know this, but we actually have an old foe
in the room,
in this very
sitting
room.
at this very table.
You know, we're not going to bring it up tonight because, you know, we're just going to let bygones be bygones.
Preserve anonymity.
We're not going to name names. It's Hugh Guider. It's Hugh Guider. You know,
both first. That's fine.
It's fine. I don't even care.
That was fucking stupid. The song was stupid, so I should
it's
have
not
been
even
funny.
fucking stupid.
Hugh Guidera. We're not
It's
naming
Ryder.
names, but it's
Yeah.
you spoke
Look at
first.
this fucking, you know,
Wasn't he funny,
whatever,
everyone?
whatever
Wasn't
he
he
is
great?
wearing cunt sitting over there, bold as brass, smug as can be.
Yeah, and we aren't going to name any names, but it is Hugh Guider. And we want to stress that there's no one, it's not names. We're not naming names. It is Hugh Guider.
But actually, yeah,
And actually, we do have a bit of an unprepared, off-the-cuff diss.
it's fresh.
Fresh in our heads.
fresh
We're just
off
going to make
the,
it up. We're
off the
going to make
shelf.
it up right now.
Yep.
And the context is I've never been to the Colosseum in Rome, and I actually am really interested in its history. And when I found out earlier in the summer, on the 4th of June at 1:59 p.m., that Hugh was off to Rome, I actually sent him this message on Facebook that says,
Oh, there it is.
I don't know where. It said, can you tell me about the Colosseum when you go to Rome, basically? And he gave it the scene. But the joke's on you tonight, Hugh.
The shit's on you tonight, Hugh.
More
Should
should
I
we
say?
say
Poo Guider.
Yeah, that's it. Because little did you know that Saoirse was going to go to Rome, and she just got back from Rome on Monday, and earlier before the debate, she told me all about the Colosseum in excruciating detail, so I know all about it, and I'm wised up.
I thought
And
that
this
joke
isn't-
wasn't
this
funny,
isn't a-
Elizabeth.
It's fine. This isn't about you, Hugh, for once
Fronts
in
your goddamn white guilt,
white
guilty
privilege.
privileged
Guilty
existence
existence.
over here.
This isn't about you or Mooch.
And it's not just because we texted you last night in a panic about advice for this debate and you responded with just a cruel thumbs up. Okay?
We're here to do good fucking debate
For all the
freshers
freshers.
out here.
Yep.
That's it.
Yeah,
And,
because school is for fools.
Yeah,
And,
and fucking is good.
yeah. So, you know, we were actually nervous about this debate, so
nervous.
we went to our friend Sheila and we asked her for
She read
some,
the
you know,
minutes.
the registrar,
She
you won't
sang-
miss her,
she
she's
sang the
over there.
song.
Give a wave, just a wave.
Stand up, Sheila.
Yeah, don't give a wave.
Don't
What the fuck are you
fuck
doing?
off. And Sheila
Anyway,
said
so
to us,
Sheila was like, right,
girls,
lads,
would just listen to me
just
for
fucking
once.
forget about anything else you've ever heard about sex, right? I'm gonna tell you, right? Right?
Do you guys know when you're fucking having sex, right?
You're just
And you're not even
having
having
it.
sex, you're fucking
You're just having it.
You're having
You're
sex.
having it, like.
And it's grand.
It'd be rude not to. Do you know what I'm saying?
Do you know what I'm saying?
You just have to keep
grand.
having it, like.
You just have to,
You know?
not to. But then we walked away from Sheila because
Oh,
she
yeah.
just said,
Because,
Jesus,
you know, when.
I have to go to a drama lecture.
And
Do
you
you
know,
know
when
yourself?
Sheila's not shiting about something, she's shiting about nothing.
Fucking nothing. You know Sheila herself. And
So anyway, we went to our friend Manus instead. So Manus, will you stand up there, please? Sit the fuck back,
fuck
Jed.
down.
Manus,
What are you
Manus,
doing?
you have a massive erection. Please sit down. So anyway, you know,
Manus Dennison, right? Or as his mother calls him, old crusty dick. Manus, he's on his way to becoming a real B-knock. He's going to get the 2020 next year. We're really proud of him.
yeah.
And
And he's going to be standing outside the Grand Social tonight, defrigitising every fresher he walks up to.
and himself.
Hey!
And himself. Defrigitising
And you know,
himself.
like, he really stands for what we're, you know, the attitude we have on this side of the motion, because God knows he hasn't been to a seminar since
October
what was it?
15th,
2014.
You don't know the lectures, Manus, you're going to fail.
And from what his mom tells us, he knows loads about sex. And he has loads of it with his penis. So, we don't really get this motion, because first of all, why do you have to have one and not the other? Why not both? Why not neither? Like us. Like us.
Like us, like us.
Like us.
And is Shannon Buckley Barnes, or, you know, any speaker person at random? Thoughts, Liz? That's what you wrote. Shannon Buckley Barnes.
It's a draft.
Is she really satisfied in life when she aces her assignments? You know?
I mean,
Is
that's
she-
all well and good, but how many dicks have you fisted?
Right.
You know? And you know, is that how sex works today?
Yeah, that's it.
Thanks,
Fist
Elizabeth.
sticks.
So, you know, or would you, or else on the other side of the conversation, you'll get someone being like, look at all the sex I'm having. And I'll be like, yeah, okay, you're 38. You know, you have 2 kids, you're married. Why are you in my house? I changed the locks, you know. So, you know, I liked that one.
Thank
Well
you.
done.
I wrote that.
Yeah, sure.
And you know what? Well, let's really get to the heart of this debate. And
Let's roll up our sleeves, crank open a window,
yeah,
please.
because it actually creates a really harmful kind of dichotomy. That's a good word. I like that one. That was a good word, Saoirse.
Thank you, I didn't write it.
I did like this. Then people think you either have to have sex, right? Are you following me? Or like, okay.
I'd just hurry up with this one.
Yeah, and abandon all hope of being intelligent, or hit the books and
just forget about jizzing.
jizzing on anyone.
Forget about it. I'm jizzing you. Yeah.
And you know, actually, Ono Gorman, one of the people who did the film, asked us today, are you guys going to do normal jokes tonight, or are you just going to do your kind of jokes? I think it's safe to say we did our kind of jokes. I didn't even do the Fillmore jokes. We can do it.
I would like to thank the speakers for their comments. And now we move on to our next speaker on the opposition, Gordon.
So I'm really glad everyone told me that we're post-joke now and that comedy is different and that the comedy I can do is not the comedy people like hearing anymore. So thanks. Thanks, Saoirse and Liz, for that. First of all, I want to offer some points of rebuttal. The first one is to Hugh Guidera, who said, I get the ride a lot. To that, I would like to say his name should be Hugh Lidera. Secondly, I was hoping Orla Heatley's speech was going to go down like a lead balloon, but it didn't. But don't worry, because normally she goes down a lot faster than that. So the idea for this speech came to me in a dream, as it always does. I woke up and I was like, this is it, got my speech. This has happened before and it's been grand. But this time, I feel like my speech is really vulgar because the idea that I had, do you know like a lemon juicer? Like the thing that you hold and you put the lemon and you squeeze the lemon and the juice comes out. Yeah. So the idea that I had was like, I love firsts so much that whenever I want to have sex, I have to like put one of those in my vag to like make it wet. So there's that. So if it wasn't clear from what Sheila said about me as well, the line is, yes, I'm in a relationship, everyone. I have a boyfriend. But my relationship is actually entirely sexless. Or at least for all intents and purposes, sexless. 15 seconds doesn't count, does it? You know, before this, Elizabeth and Saoirse said, well, you know, in our speeches we're going to call you Orla Delay Me, but, you know, nothing delays him. So yeah, as a gal who's gotten a first more recently than she's had enjoyable penetrative sex, I feel somewhat overqualified for this debate. But that might be a good thing, because while Hugh Guidera over there was banging birds and getting thirds, while Orla Heatley was kissing mans and failing exams, while Liz and Saoirse were fondling balls and not getting scalds, I was there enjoying my future six-figure salary as a future arts graduate with a first, knowing I'm well secure, don't need to go near any balls me. That one was sarcasm. Actually, everything's disappointing and nothing is fun. But actually, the disappointment of 69ing academically, which for any freshers in the audience, that means you're 1 point off a first. It means all your lecturers hate you and they're going to kick you out of college. That's less than the disappointment of 69ing sexually, where he's all like, ooh, yes, go deeper. And you're all like, I feel like an animal being suckled. And I hope his nose doesn't go in my butthole.
Say that again.
I hope his nose doesn't go in my butthole, was what I said. And you know, Shannon was telling us all about flirting techniques. Nobody told me about those. So back in my pulling days, which was before I got a boyfriend, which is what I call the pre-boyfriend era of my life, I'd be approaching males. I'd be like, have you heard about the latest scandal in the German department? I heard some lad sent out this email and everyone was going mad. And then I'd be like, do you think you'd like to speak with me in a debate sometimes? And then this very benevolent girl that I went to school with would appear, and she'd push our heads together and make us kiss with her hands like this. And then she'd be like, check it out, everyone, Orla Delaney's shifting someone. It turns out that anything can happen when you go to college. But I actually think being in a relationship does suck all the fun out of sucking dick, because instead of going out, you know, pulling 2 Huns and getting 2 ones, you're at home on the couch, you're chilling out, your boyfriend has his laptop out, he's looking through tabs from debating competitions and calculating his average. It's what he calls doing the numbers. And there's only so many times you can take that before you're like, this is ridiculous, I'm gonna go study. And every so often, like, one of us looks up and we're like, do you think we're gonna have sex this time? And it's like, no. No. If that guy wants Netflix and chill, he knows where the lemon juicer is. But you know, far be it from me to tell you enterprising young freshers what to do. You know, if squeezing boobs and smoking doobs is your thing, by all means, suffer the consequences. But I feel like I have to point out what you've all been missing, which is this. Getting a first is sex. When you get a first, you get a giant number 1 on your degree. That's a phallus. When you write notes with a pen, that's a phallus. Your fingers, phalluses. Your fingers pushing the buttons on your computer all night until reams of white paper shoot out of the printer. That's sex. You know, when you're sliding that essay into the little hole in the box outside of your department, that's sex. When you're getting it back and you see tick, 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 75, that's sex too. So it's your choice. You can spend college, you know, touching her chest and getting NS'd, like the degenerates over here on prop bench, or you can concentrate on your studies, which you'll remember are also sex. So I'm going to leave you with my final and best one-liner. You know, if it's between the D and a PhD, I know which one I would choose.
Most people do. Now, where'd I put the speech now?
No, stop!
One second now. She's in here somewhere. I'll see you. So this will be short, like my penis. So they told me to open with the joke, so I'll open with my sex life. That's about it. The concepts of this speech came to me in a wet dream, so I'd bear with me. But I'd like to apologise for the false advertising surrounding this debate. I was described as a funny person. I'm not. I'm horrendously mean. But here we go. As someone who is currently getting both a first and the ride, I am delighted to share my wisdom with you all. You may be thinking, oh well, if you can do it, surely can I. Well, actually you can't. There's only one Hugh Fitzgibbon, and he comes in 10 seconds. So ladies and Harry Higgins, line up. But before I proceed, let's go down the prop bench. First up is Hugh Guidera. Now listen, everyone. You can't listen to anything Hugh says when it comes to sex and first, because he hasn't been inside a pussy since he came out of one 22 years ago. And next up is Orla Heatley, and we can't listen to her what she says about sex because, you know, you can't spell Orla without oral. Am I right? And then there's Liz and Saoirse, and they do everything in twos, including Chris Costigan. So enough said there. I mean, Hugh neither got the ride or the first in Trinity in his 4 years here, and that's why he's here tonight, hoping to pull someone in Club Filth. but stay away. So in order to get some inspiration for this speech, I've been listening to people talk about sex, their favorite positions, their number of partners, and the number of STDs they've had. It's been rather illuminating and at times frightening. And the biggest source of inspiration came last night on the cable-tie pub crawl. A fresher told me a really funny joke. He said, what do you call nuts on a wall? Turns out it's walnuts. What do you call nuts on a chest? Chestnuts. And what do you call chests on your chin? A dick in your mouth. Now, I can see that this joke is outrageously unfunny and something that even comedy stock would cringe at. But it has a real life lesson. Don't be nuts and don't put a dick in your mouth. My argument is really simple. Get the first now and the ride later. You can, in fact, have your cake and eat it. Or should I say, your pie and lick it. You should study. Study real hard. Get scholars and get a first. And here's why. In the long run, brain trumps bod. Look at our president, Matthew Newding. He focused on getting ahead using his intellect, not his body. He used his intelligence and not his cock to become president of the Dublin University Philosophical Society, because that sort of behaviour belongs in the hist. So if you keep your dick soft and your cunts dry, you too could end up president of the Phil. And when you get it first, you will earn loads and shitloads of money. And then you can be a sugar daddy. At the moment, our Vice President, Ciara O'Leary's sugar daddy is paying my electricity bill. And he's getting it on the daily. So all around college this week, you've probably noticed signs from big corporations saying things like, opportunity awaits. But look at the hot you guy right here, and they look like him on the poster. But they're not just advertising six-figure salaries. They're implicitly advertising 6-inch dicks. But a lot of people say they couldn't get it first if they weren't having sex. They'd struggle with sexual frustration. And to those people, I'd like to introduce you to my right hand. And when I broke my collarbone when I was 14, it was my left hand. And when I'm feeling particularly frisky, it's both hands. Yes, indeed, a wank a day keeps the repeats at bay. No, but guys, it's time to get serious here. Recent research has shown that those who have sex are, in fact, more likely to get an STD than those who don't. And this alarming piece of research is the most relevant thing to come out of UCD in its entire history. You can avoid STDs by not having sex. Who knew?
Point of information.
Yes.
You can avoid being an absolute fucking loser by having sex.
All we fucking learned from Orla's speech was that her sex life was grim, and can you blame her if you have sex with Mark Finn? Okay. Mark, I'll have sex with you. So to conclude, don't turn into a fucking UCD Ag Science student. Zip it up, cross your legs, and at Club Filth, get wrecked, not erect. And I'd like to finish this debate off, with a sing song. I'd like to finish you all off. And I hope you join in. My neck, my back, lick my pussy and my crack. My neck, my back, lick my pussy and my crack. Now let's get fucked!